Hello there. I am going to do a quick video on lights. Okay, look. It's going to be hard to understand, but if you're concerned about your health, you're going to look it up, right? So it's dusk. It's the perfect time to do this. Let's just make this very quick. LED lights are replacing all of the street lights from the old light bulb system that they used to use for years. And these LED lights are a different kind of light, it's different technology. Problem with these lights, and if you look it up, I'll provide some links on this video, according to the AMA, American Medical Association, is that these LED lights are not good for humans and animals, mammalian life. They're even upsetting the ecosystem with birds and moths. Moths are actually killing themselves, gorging on these lights. Why? Because they interrupt the circadian rhythms of humans and animals, which means our sleep cycle. In short, it interrupts the production of melatonin, which is the chemical that makes you sleep. These lights, aka blue lights, also known as blue lights, for years these kinds of lights have been used in countries like the Arctic, countries in the Arctic, and countries like, Scandinavia and up around that area, parts of Russia, Siberia, and in the Arctic Circle, because of the, 6 months of light, 6 months of darkness. So people that are light deprived or have a seasonal affective disorder, SAD, in the winter, in any environment, any country, they're doing this so that people get a dose of sunlight. These things produce sunlight type of light. So understand what I'm saying. These LED lights, if they're on the blue end of the spectrum, the more bluish ones, and all of them produce blue light, the same light can be said to be in your computer, a light that emits from your computer, that emits from your cell phone and your PC. This is a blue light, and it's LED. So it's a digital blue light, and it's used for people that need exposure to sunlight for medical reasons. However, they're using them, and that's the problem the AMA has, and a lot of engineers, etc., is because they produce light that's supposed to be like sunshine, and you're not supposed to have that at night. And because they're cheap and efficient, the argument is they're cheap, efficient, and people are arguing all you have to do is take these lights and put them into the more yellow spectrum than blue. Problem is, it doesn't fix a lot of the problems, like from the blue the light emitting that's blue. It's still there, even if it's very little. And also, the argument is this, that the street lights, the cities and the towns are mandating that, see how low this is? Okay, that you emit only a certain amount because you're using them on very low. Now, the problem with this is you have private business. This is how bright private business likes to make these lights. And we've seen them even brighter in the city, or like in the suburbs, right? In the city, see, private businesses are making them so they're very, very bright. And compare this, see how small that is, compared to the one I showed you over there at that business and this business. They're very, very, very bright. And businesses in the city are emitting like 5 or 6 of those each post, blasting them. In the city, they have this kind of thing, except it's a full rectangle of LEDs, light-emitting diodes, and you can turn some of them off and some of them on, like in Cambridge, for instance, or Boston. And so if you turn all of them on, it's much too bright. Some of the city streets, because of whatever they've decided, some of the lights are full blast, and some of them are half lit up like this. So it depends on the decisions that they make. And businesses blare them as bright as they want. So that being said, okay, understand that these lights, if you sleep outside, under the moon, under the stars, urban camping, especially in cities or towns near lights, you might encounter this problem where you're not sleeping correctly, you're not getting sleep, or if you do sleep, you actually feel like you haven't slept well. Not only does it prevent melatonin production, it also makes it so humans can't kind of go into deeper brainwave patterns, which is true relaxation. You can read up about the real detail of this on the internet. I'll provide some links. I've experienced this in the cities where it's super blasting bright. You sleep, you don't feel like you've slept, and actually it causes you to start overeating during the day, and it causes like something wrong with your heart, like heart problems. And I looked it up, and that's exactly what it says, is it causes obesity, heart issues, cardiac problems, and you just don't sleep. So there's no way to reverse this right now. People around the world are complaining about it, standing up against it. Medical doctors are trying to stop it. But for now, the funding has come in from the feds, and actually around the world, Western nations are all replacing their streetlights with these lights, and they are disturbing people's sleep, and a lot of people don't like how bright they are. So they're not caring, is the point, because it's a cheap solution, supposedly. It's cost. But until people can really have a long-term case study, probably, of all these problems connecting to these lights, sleep deprivation, depression, all this stuff, probably it's going to take years. My prediction is there's going to be damage. Eventually they'll admit to it, and then they'll change it. For now, as an outside sleeper, as a houseless person or a traveler, you are subject to the dangers of this firsthand, like no one else, because no one else sleeps under these lights. Even people inside that have these lights outside their bedrooms and they close the curtains, they're even complaining that they're not sleeping right. So if you sleep under these lights, you have to remember you are a human animal, you are being affected, and there's nothing you can do about it other than take the precautions and try to have some solutions. Number one solution I've read about is try to get melatonin prescribed to you. We haven't tried it yet. We're going to, I think. Try to replace the melatonin that you're being denied your body making. The other thing I've read is that amber-colored sunglasses or amber glass or lens somehow blocks the light, because I guess yellow spectrum, blue spectrum, right? It like filters it out. That's all we know of right now. But this change, and if you notice, like I just noticed these lights overnight, as if, boom, they just came up overnight. Like, oh my God, where'd these come from? And I was wondering, and they're on buses now. It's like, why is that light so bright? Why is that so obnoxious in my eyes? And also the lighting of the train stations in this area. It's like, oh, this is so obnoxious. I notice older people like ourselves are also very affected. We grew up in the city with an ambiance, if you will, of low lighting. And if they wanted to light an area, they just used regular soft bulbs if an area was dangerous. I notice younger people, a lot of people are not bothered by these lights. It's probably the quality of their eyesight, their health, as well as they grew up born into technology. They're native to technology. They grew up with the blue lights. From the blue light coming out of their PC, their computer, they've had their eyes in front of blue light since the day they were born. And a lot of us, that's not the case. And our eyes are aging, and it's uncomfortable. So they're not going to change this for a bunch of poor homeless people who can't pay, who have no value, that they're trying to seemingly cut out of society at this point anyway around the country, if not around in every Western civilization. And especially if we're older, we're not the cash cows. So you need to protect yourself. If you are an outside sleeper, I am telling you, you need to read about this, and you need to try to get some kind of solution. Observe how you sleep. Tell me in the comments section, or discuss with other people, or read up about it, and observe how you sleep under these lights compared to someplace maybe where it's dark, where these lights aren't around. You'll notice the difference in your sleep quality. and you need to have a solution or sleep in a bunch of different places, some of which where you get some real sleep. And also, if you're super sensitive, going inside, if these lights are outside the window, it won't really help. It'll help a little bit. You'll always feel like you haven't slept, and you'll also always have this desire to sleep when the sun comes out in the morning, sleep late, because actually your body is just trying to get sleep, even if it's daytime sleep, because you're not sleeping at night. And they're not going to change this just for us, a small part of the population that's exposed, and also people that are in the minority. They just don't care. That's what I think. And doctors do care, but nobody listens to the Concerned League of Scientists. Nobody listens to doctors who care at this point. That's been going on for 25 years. So the environment, once again, has another stressor in it, on top of all the pollution and other stuff. So sleeping outside is healthier, living this primitive type lifestyle if you do it right. But now there's another stressor. You're going to have to face this. If you find you are getting sleep deprived, if you find that you're feeling like you're not sleeping, if you're starting to have behavior problems because of it, if you're starting to feel your heart is giving you problems or you're overeating during the day, you need to get out of that environment and find someplace safe to get some real sleep, even if it's daytime sleep. So this is very important. Good luck. And read up on it. It is now a new danger with being an outside sleeper.